What if the secret to manifestation wasn't about chasing, striving, or endlessly searching, but about stopping? Yes, stopping. In a world obsessed with hustle, scrolling, and constant movement, the real power lies not in doing more, but in shifting into stillness, presence, and alignment with the quantum field. This video isn't about quick hacks or surface-level tricks. It's about a radical, transformative way of living, what we'll call quantum living. And once you understand it, you'll see why your desires don't come from chasing them, but from receiving them. Let's start with a simple observation: almost everyone is caught in the habit of seeking. We scroll endlessly through content, search for the next big idea, consume more books, courses, and advice, and yet, nothing really changes. This restless energy creates what's called the seeking frequency, a vibrational state of perpetual motion. It feels like you're moving towards something, but in truth, it keeps you stuck. Why? Because seeking is based on lack. The more you seek, the more you affirm that what you want isn't here yet. And so, life mirrors that back to you: more delay, more dissatisfaction, more endless chasing. But there's a way out. It begins with a conscious decision to pause. Manifestation doesn't begin with effort. It begins with stopping. Just 60 seconds of stillness, placing a hand on your heart, breathing deeply, and letting go, can completely shift your nervous system. In that moment, your brain and heart enter coherence. Your body stops broadcasting chaos and starts aligning with flow. Instead of pushing against reality, you open yourself to receiving. This simple act, stopping, may feel counterintuitive in a world that worships productivity. But in truth, it's the gateway to accessing the quantum field. Here's where science supports what spiritual teachers have said for centuries. Quantum physics shows us that reality responds to the observer. The observer effect reveals that matter collapses into form based on the energy state of the observer. In other words, reality doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to the coherence of your energy. If you're in a state of restless seeking, your energy broadcasts lack, incompleteness, and impatience. The result? More lack. More waiting. More running in circles. But when you pause, align, and breathe into stillness, your energy becomes coherent. That coherence is what collapses potential into form. That's how manifestation happens, not by striving, but by tuning your frequency. Now let's go deeper. Inside you is a quiet intelligence, a deeper field of awareness, sometimes called the unified field, the morphic field, or simply consciousness itself. This intelligence doesn't shout. It whispers. It nudges you through subtle feelings, synchronicities, and quiet inner guidance. The problem? Most of us are too noisy inside to hear it. True manifestation requires listening to these whispers. Trusting them. Acting on them, even when they don't make logical sense. This is where courage comes in, because whispers often guide you away from your comfort zone. But when you honor them, you step into alignment with a bigger intelligence than the mind. And life begins to unfold in ways your rational mind could never have planned. Science backs this up. When you place your hand on your heart and belly, breathe consciously, and shift into stillness, your heart rate variability synchronizes with your brain waves. This creates neural coherence. Think of it as tuning your inner radio station from static to clarity. In this state, you don't just think more clearly, you receive. Ideas drop in. Opportunities align. Synchronicities multiply. It's not mystical, it's biological. Your body literally becomes more receptive to the quantum field. Here's another radical shift: how you relate to time. We've been conditioned to live in linear time, constant productivity, endless deadlines, always on hustle. But manifestation doesn't work that way. Instead, reality unfolds in what we'll call quantum time. It moves in rhythms: expansion and contraction, action and integration, flow and rest. When you honor these cycles, life feels effortless. You accomplish more with less effort. You know when to act boldly and when to pause. You stop forcing and start flowing. Living in quantum time requires trust that resting isn't laziness, but alignment. Trust that silence isn't emptiness, but space for creation. So what is authentic manifestation? It's not about ego-driven goals, chasing external validation, or ticking off boxes of success. Authentic creation flows from your deeper self, the consciousness that watches your thoughts, emotions, and desires without being bound by them. When you live from this space, manifestation isn't about getting more. It's about expressing who you already are. This is authenticity, showing up as your true self, aligned with your deepest values, even if it's uncomfortable. It requires vulnerability. It requires courage. But it's also the most powerful way to live, because the universe mirrors authenticity with synchronicity. There's one more key to this process: surrender. Too often, we try to force life into our timeline. We push, demand, and get frustrated when things don't happen instantly. But manifestation doesn't work on ego time. Think of a flower. You don't pull on its petals to make it bloom faster. You create the right conditions: sunlight, water, soil, and then trust nature's timing. Life is the same. Conscious stopping, stillness, coherence, trust in whispers, and alignment with quantum rhythms, these are the conditions. Once they're in place, manifestation unfolds naturally. Your job is not to control every step. Your job is to trust, surrender, and stay aligned. Quantum living isn't a one-time shift. It's an ongoing journey. You'll forget. You'll slip back into seeking. You'll get caught in hustle, fear, or doubt. And that's okay. The practice is not about perfection, it's about returning. Again and again, back to stillness. Back to coherence. Back to trust. Every cycle of forgetting and returning strengthens your alignment. Every challenge becomes an invitation to surrender more deeply. And every step builds a life that feels more authentic, more effortless, more meaningful. Here's the bigger picture. When you live this way, you don't just transform your own life, you contribute to the awakening of the collective. Every act of conscious stopping, every moment of coherence, every choice to listen to whispers instead of noise, these ripple out into the morphic field. Together, we're creating a new collective frequency. A world where authenticity, presence, and flow are the norm. So the invitation is simple. Stop. Breathe. Place your hand on your heart. Shift from seeking to receiving. Trust the whispers. Flow with quantum time. Live authentically. Manifestation is not about chasing what you don't have, it's about aligning with what you already are. If this message resonates, take a moment now. Affirm silently, I am ready to receive. And remember, every pause, every breath, every moment of stillness is a doorway into quantum living.